Time for the news, baby. We're going to get started right away. Montgomery, Alabama. Aaron Cody Smith, a white police officer from Alabama who shot and killed Greg Gunn, a 58-year-old unarmed black man in 2016, has finally been convicted of manslaughter. Smith was initially charged by prosecutors with murder. After a one-day deliberation, the jury returned a unanimous decision on the charge of manslaughter. According to reports, Smith stopped Gunn for a stop and frisk, but Gunn allegedly tried to escape. Smith said that he shot at him in self-defense as Gunn allegedly attacked him with the metal pole that he allegedly grabbed from a nearby porch, an assertion that has not been proven during the trial. How in the world do you think he's picking up this paint roller and doing all this swinging and all this threatening and still holding a baseball hat in his hand? The decision came after the trial was delayed for a long time as 8 consecutive judges recused themselves from the case. 8 consecutive judges. Wow. So the judges didn't even want to touch it because they knew he was guilty. They knew his ass was guilty, man. This is ridiculously crazy what's going on in this country now. Ever since the D.C. dunce took office, it's like racism is just at a high, all-time high. Project launches to create high school curriculum for youth gun violence prevention leadership. Chicago, Illinois, Dr. Janice Samuels, founding executive director of National Youth Art Movement Against Gun Violence, along with her partners, the Great Books Foundation and Robert Fritz Incorporated, recently led a kickoff meeting and think tank November 22nd through 24th, 2019 in Chicago, Illinois, to begin the development of a national curriculum for personal leadership and gun violence prevention for high school students. A team of nearly 20 professionals and youth leaders in the gun violence prevention, public health education, and the arts from across the United States and Canada convened to help with the development and implementation of this curriculum. Included in this group were subject matter experts like Dr. Tanya Sharp, Associate Professor at Factor at Interwich, Chair in Social Work in the Global Community at the University of Toronto, who specializes in coping mechanisms for African American victims of homicide, and Dr. Kelvin Ramirez, Assistant Professor in Expressive Arts Therapies and Global Interdisciplinary Studies at Lesley University in Boston, and a board-certified art therapist who achieved phenomenal success developing and implementing innovative youth support groups as a vice principal at a high school in the Bronx. Additionally, Robert Fritz, the best-selling author of The Path of Least Resistance and Consultation, led the curriculum planning session as well as 3 learning sessions on his creative process methodology. The methodology will serve as a foundational approach to the personal leadership and the art creation components of the curriculum. The goal of the curriculum is to develop within each student and within their schools a strong foundation for catalyzing pro-social behaviors among youth that, 1, expands their capacity for building relationships, 2, engenders a creative orientation for addressing life's obstacles, 3, demonstrates in hands-on activities how to address emotional and mental strain constructively and applying their passions and feelings of disillusionment to creative endeavors and civic and community engagement. The curriculum will launch at 1 school per U.S. region for a total of 5 during the 2020 and 2021 academic year. And so the team convened to kick off the curriculum development along with additional supporters who will later become part of the individual instructional support teams for teachers who choose to implement the curriculum in their classrooms. So if you got a school in the United States and you're having some issues with gun violence, you can contact them at the website for the curriculum at www.nationalyouth.artmovement.org. That's National Youth Art Movement That's all one word. So, hey, let's try to get it together here. You know, all this black on black crime and, you know, brown on brown and brown on black crime that's going on in this country. It's, you know, we all in the same boat. So it's time to try to put all this nonsense aside and focus on the real issues, man, about trying to live together and survive. So here's a good story here. The school principal uses $300,000 grant to recruit more black educators. And Sharif El Mekki, the principal at the Mastery Charter School in Philadelphia and the founder of the Center for Black Education Development, has been awarded $300,000 grant that will be used to recruit more black educators. The grant was awarded by the Philadelphia 76ers, Tobias Harris, who has made philanthropy efforts to support the education profession. When he discovered the Center for the Black Educator Development, he reached out to them. It's a great organization. I really love what they're doing for the African American teachers, Harris told the Notebook. This will really give them a platform. The numbers don't lie. According to the studies, the lack of black educators could affect black children's education. Black children were found to less likely graduate from high school if they only had one black teacher, but if they had at least two, they were more likely to attend college. El Mekki, who became known for introducing free laundromats to schools to lessen bullying and increase class attendance, establishes the Center for Black Educator Development earlier this year. The organization plans and aims to spread awareness about the lack of black educators and encourage black youth to consider teaching careers. It also offers workshops and professional development for teachers. And I would have to say that that statement is definitely true, because when I grew up in a community in my neighborhood in Chicago, 80%, I'm gonna say even higher than that, of the teachers in my neighborhood schools were black, and most of them lived in my neighborhood, and they also had kids that went to school with us. So we got a way better education because they were teaching their own kids. So they taught their kids right, they taught us right. And I also had several black teachers in California, black male, some black male teachers and black female teachers. And, that's something that I think is really, really missing these days, like the black male teachers, especially on the high school level. And I think that would be a real plus when it comes to giving these young men some kind of male father figure that they can kind of relate to, and they could probably talk to, and might, help them, keep them from going down a path of destruction. So, yeah, I believe in that one. And I'm going to try to do what I can to see how I can participate in that. They don't really offer any other information here as far as a website or anything, but I'll do some more information and I'll get back to you on that one. That's my story of the day, and I'm sticking with it. Whose news? That's whose news it is. Who? KP's news. And that's the news blues in the background.